Welcome to the GenX Experience, the podcast that celebrates the unique journey of 80s kids navigating midlife. I'm your host, Blythe Alperin. Each episode, my guests and I will share with you the unique differences that define our generation and how we are navigating those differences in the real world. Join me for laughs, insights, and a sense of community. Let's embrace the GenX Experience together. Hello, my fellow Gen Xers. Welcome back to the GenX Experience Podcast. We are in a new month. We have transitioned from spooky season to, turkey season, gratitude season. I love Thanksgiving. I know the story it's got some issues, but I think of it as just being thankful and getting to be with my family and getting to cook all of my mom's favorite recipes. I can't believe we only have 2 months left in the year. Crazy. And speaking of a new month, so this month in November, our new topic will be beauty over 40. I thought it was something interesting to talk about because there's so many fun trends to remember from the 70s and 80s and 90s. Some bad ones like, dear Lord, what were we doing with our hair? It was crunchy, flammable, permed, teased. It was bad. It was bad. Like, what were we thinking? We all looked so interesting. I can still smell the perm stuff now. But we're going to talk about that, what beauty meant back then, how we were influenced by all the magazines, 17, YM, etc., Jane, and what beauty means today and how we view it and how society views it. And then it's just not about makeup and hair. It's beauty is, as they say, more than skin deep. So today I have a really special treat. I have two guests that you may remember as the Mommies, and they're back. They had a sitcom and a talk show back in the day on NBC and ABC, and now they've gotten back together and they have a two-woman show that they're putting on in California. One quick little caveat before we start talking about our guests and talking to them. You will notice my voice sounds a little weird in the interview because I went to New York and Chicago and came back with I don't know what. Somehow, sometimes when I go to New York, I bring back some kind of germs. So my voice sounded or was heading to sounding like Roz from Monsters Inc. So, and at one point I didn't really have a voice, so that was fun. So this is why I had to record intro and outro later because like I was struggling. Definitely struggling. So I apologize if my voice bothers you a little bit, but my guests do more of the talking than I do. So, and then stay tuned for later this month. We're going to have one more episode talking about beauty over 40. But let's get into my guests and who they are. They are Caryl Kristensen and Marilyn Kentz. And I will have all of their information in the show notes. Also, if you are in you live in California, I want to see their show, I'll have information for that because they are back, the Mommies, with their new show called their Last Trimester. It is a two-woman show where Caryl and Marilyn reflect on their accidental road to fame and how easy it was to go down the Hollywood ladder. And they bring to light the good, the bad, the stupid, and how they were lost in the world of an NBC sitcom and an ABC talk show. And they're going to talk about their perspective that now 30 years later, the two former next door neighbors are back on stage laughing about this new version of life as grandmommies. And it's really interesting. They'll talk a little bit about in the podcast their experience being having their own show, what led to it and what they're up to now. So let me tell you a little bit about each separately. Caryl Kristensen is an artist, woodworker, farmer, and educator. After working in the entertainment industry, traveling the country, and visiting colleges for fun, she transitioned into a career as a college counselor. She worked at a private high school before co-founding Like Live, a software company. This online tool provided students with the opportunity to conduct video interviews as part of their college application process. She then co-founded independent college counseling practice, and now she's currently painting, growing flowers, and working on woodworking projects. Marilyn Kentz is an artist, author, comedian, grandmother, and all-around fearless woman. Kentz is the 3-time published author and 1-time television personality. Her books include The Motherlode, Not Your Mother's Midlife, and Fearless Women. In her 2010 to 2014 stage show, Will I Ever Wear a Bikini Again?, she explored the aging process from the satisfaction of pulling that pesky chin hair to surviving the empty nest. Together, these two women are back in their happy place, helping other women laugh and reminding them that you're not alone when it comes to aging. So I really enjoyed talking to both of them. As you'll see, they're just engaging, enlightening, hilarious. Definitely want to stay to the end because the conversation goes in a really interesting direction. So, without further ado, let's get into my conversation with Caryl Kristensen and Marilyn Kentz.
All right, who's ready to talk about beauty over 40? A very fun, interesting, and sometimes depressing topic because as three women, we know that once you hit what would you guys say, like 35, we become non-existent and old?
Wow, that's really young to me.
It's lasted a little longer than that.
Yeah, it does
Okay.
last a little longer than that,
Okay.
even
Yeah.
after 40, I think. But I'm 78, so 35, I was hot.
I mean, yeah, I just remember trying to date at 35 and guys were like, "Oh, I'm sorry, you're too old." I'm like,
Oh,
"I'm the same age as you are. I don't."
Oh my God.
oh,
Oh my God.
Maybe
yeah.
that's where I get that like idea of, they start.
Well,
Well,
there's a certain kind of beauty that is before you're 40, but that's meant to help you survive and procreate and have more children. And after that passes, there's a whole other kind of beauty that happens.
yeah. And I think too, it depends on where you are in your life. Like I got married really young. And when I was 40, I had a 17-year-old.
Mm.
And so for me, it was like, I felt like I was just coming into my own because I didn't, my 20s and 30s were so taken up with child rearing and all of that. I never even thought about beauty, to be honest. I was running kids to preschool and practices and doing all that. And then I think in my early 30s is when we started doing the Mommies. Marilyn and I first did our show. And so I don't know. I don't think I was that preoccupied with it. But then when it really hit me too was like television was over. We kind of had backed up from that. The kids were kind of grown. And then I would pass a mirror and go, oh, it's my mother.
I
You know,
know.
and that's when it really started to hit me, is when I started feeling like I look like my mother. I went like, oh, it's
yeah.
over.
Yeah, I mean, because I always thought it was weird when the guys were. I'm like, I didn't feel old at 35. I'm 51 now. I don't feel it. My body
Yeah.
sometimes reminds me that I'm 51.
Mhm.
But yeah, the only time I think I first noticed aging was when I looked in the mirror. I'm like, what is this hanging thing?
Oh yeah, I
Why
got it
has my
too.
chin and my neck decided to
I
give up?
know. Do you know, we'll tell you a little secret. Marilyn and I actually used to tape our necks.
Oh, did you?
Yeah,
But
when
it
we
would-
were doing
But it
television.
would snap off right in the middle.
Yeah,
And then
in the middle, you just get whiplash, and it's like,
yeah,
oh,
and then the
F it,
next
can't do it. We're just going to be who we are. And I think, once you embrace that, like Marilyn's saying, it's a different kind of beauty after 40 when you can let
Mhm.
go of all that pressure. Though, then I think there's sort of a rebound. Like the 40s I think, are pretty good. But
Yeah.
then you get to a place where you really start noticing the wrinkles and all that. That to me is
That
when,
stuff is just part of life.
yeah.
It just isn't. I mean, I got an eye job when I was 38, I think I was, because
Mhm.
I had my cousins, my male cousins, also had to get eye jobs. It's just we had these hoods that you couldn't see very well. So
Mhm.
yeah. So that was that. But look at my eyes now. I mean, I'm old.
I mean, and who isn't tempted? I mean, I think there's a certain point where, I mean, women have to just honor themselves and do whatever feels right to them.
Yeah.
But I do believe there is a tipping point, and I'm starting to see it now. Like I moved back from Los Angeles to Northern California, and my friend said, "So what do you notice the difference the most?" And I said, "Honestly, plastic surgery."
Yeah.
Like I go to LA and it's almost like a freak show now to me. They're coming at me and I'm like, oh, too much Juvederm. Oh no, too much lip plumping. And it's like, I mean, I don't know how raw I can get on your podcast here.
Go for it.
Okay. So like women are getting so many Botox and Juvederm in the plumping the lips, that if you turn them sideways, they look like a vagina. You've gone too far.
Yeah.
Yeah, gone too far.
There's a point of no return where you just got to stop chasing gravity. It's just not working.
Especially women that are doing it in their 20s. I'm like, you're enjoy your looks, because if you keep doing that, I feel like you're gonna mess up your skin and your face and all that. And then when you get to be 40, you're gonna look older because
you're absolutely right. It's aging them. It's aging them. They think it's the opposite, but it's freaky.
Yeah.
Because now you don't look your age.
Yeah.
And it's a privilege. My mom used to always, like, I remember when I was about to turn 30, I was having like a mental breakdown, and my mom's like, 30's great. She's like, what's the alternative? Not having a birthday? And I'm like, yeah, that's the attitude I have now. Like, not everybody gets to age, and we should embrace, especially women. Like, we're so, it's like men get salt and pepper in their hair and they're distinguished. And then women age, and it's like, but it's a privilege, and it's kind of cool to see, how your face changes, sometimes it's annoying, like how your body, how like you change. And you also, I think you become less like, I don't care what people think of me.
No. Yeah, that's the difference. It is. As you get older, the less you worry about what other people think. There's this new sense of confidence that comes in. And that is in itself is beautiful.
Yeah. And you need to just become more interesting as a person. Like, that to me is what, like, my friends who light up a room, Marilyn being one of them, is like, she has this energy and this vivaciousness, and she's in touch with life and how we're living now. And she doesn't live all in the past, and she doesn't complain about her aches and pains. And it's like, that to me is the secret to youth. It's like, this woman is trying to get me to choreograph a dance to Kendrick Lamar's They Not Like Us. I'm like, most of our audience doesn't even know who he is.
Yeah.
But to me, that's youth. That is what's youthful. Are you interesting? Do you bring something to the table? What are you involved in? Are you just doing the same thing and you just sit on your couch and watch TV all day? That'll age you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know what another version of beauty is when you see strangers and compliment them in honesty. You don't just do it to do it. But yeah, the other day I saw a woman walking by. She had the best darling coat. I was going, rock that coat. And she's waving. Yeah. It's just like there's a whole other way that doesn't include the facial features.
Yeah.
And think about like the women that we have as role models who are,
not
Diane Keaton. Diane Keaton. Jane Fonda, who's had actually a ton of surgery, but she's an interesting woman.
Yeah.
And that's what I think people are drawn to. It's like, it's not so much her face, and yes, she cares about that, but she's had a good plastic surgeon too. But I think it's what you're, like I said, it's what you're bringing to the table that makes you interesting. And especially, like, look at our, who's that woman, that model in New York? I think she may have just Iris Apfel.
She's with the glasses and the,
and just so fun and eccentric and old. She's in her, did she die? I'm not sure.
R.I.P. if she did. Last year or this year? Yeah.
I think maybe she did. But to me, she was always so interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And just owned herself and her looks and her style. And, and like Diane Keaton, like she never felt old to me, ever.
No. And she was so unique with her, like she just embraced how she wanted to dress and how she wanted to be.
She had a style, and, that to me is what's cool.
Yeah. And seeing all the tributes to her online, showed what an impact that she made. So many women were like, oh, she was like my style icon, or she was just a feminist, a female icon. And, because she was so not afraid to just be who she was.
Right.
And and when you're in your 20s and even your 30s, it's really hard to just let go and like embrace who you are. It's annoying that it takes until you're like in your 40s or your 50s.
It takes a while. And that's the thing is, the insecurities or the trying to please everybody in your youth, it's such a lovely, soft miracle that it goes away. I try and, please as best I can, but I don't really care about a lot of stuff anymore.
Yeah. No, I have this young friend who runs a nonprofit. She does, it's called WANT, and it stands for Women Against Negative Talk. And she posted this thing yesterday that I thought was so great, that she said, actually, she's like, all those things that you're like afraid of like, and you always start with the sentence of, well, they might not like me, or they might not think I'm pretty, or they might not think I'm talented. And then at the bottom, she goes, who's the they?
Yeah.
You know, who is it that you're giving that power over to? So I think that's the biggest thing. But I do think this generation has a challenge because of social media. I think it makes it far more difficult, and it's something that I can't relate to because
Yeah.
I didn't grow up with it, and I wasn't in it when I might have been feeling insecure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people can say nasty things, and they do.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it can really hurt your feelings, but you don't have the capacity until you're older to just blow it off.
So walk away from stupid TikTok.
Or hit delete and block, because I
Yes.
had, I had like a little run-in with, because I was posted about somebody that just, I didn't like that this magazine was featuring someone who wasn't a really good person. And I had like bots and coming into my DMs and going on my business page and saying the most heinous, nasty things. And I was like, this is what you do with your time. And it was just, I just was like,
Yeah.
block, delete, block. But it did freak me out a little bit, because it was like unnerving. But I'm like, I can't imagine being in your 20s with that. Because I remember, as growing up Gen X and like growing up in the 80s, all the magazines and 17 and Miss, and I'm like looking at all the models and and like wanting everything and thinking you had to look a certain way. And the diet culture of the 80s was awful.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Trust
And
me, Fen almost killed me.
I mean, yeah, that stuff was insane. Like,
Horrible. Well, ABC, I mean, I'll look back at our talk show, but ABC asked me to lose weight.
ugh,
And when I look back at those things, I'm thinking, what I'd give to have that body back. I think I was a size 12,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
even a 10 at sometimes. And I'm like,
mhm.
that was really thin for me. And so that started my trajectory of like, oh my God. And it's like, you're doing every, Weight Watchers and Jenny Craig, where a 23-year-old is clapping because you lost 4 pounds. And I'm like, 4 pounds is a poop. Let's not do that, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I remember being told like, oh, if you're not skinny, boys aren't going to like you. And I'm like, I was too young to like really get it. But I'm like, if a man doesn't like the way I look or my body, then there's
Bye.
the door. Bye. I don't care. Not like they're perfect or,
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just don't have that capacity when you're so young.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, now with social media, the pressure on,
Yeah.
on girls and women, young women, it's so much more. And
Well, and the Kardashians have destroyed a generation of like
Oh,
this
God.
bar of it's just all about this,
Yeah.
and
like, well, what was the talent other than being a celebrity?
right. And yeah, and then they get mad if, because they've set these unrealistic expectations, and then they get mad when people criticize them. Like, you did this to yourself. So
Exactly.
I'm not gonna,
Exactly.
yeah. And then what the mom, I'm blanking on her name, but she's like,
Kim. I mean,
Kent,
Chris.
her like whatever she did to her face. And I'm like, wow,
Oh,
it's
You
kind
didn't
of,
need to. I mean, she was a
no,
beautiful woman anyway,
yeah.
but
I'm like,
but I
wow.
guess it's the world that they live in, but I think, for most of us mere mortals, it's just an unattainable bar. I mean, I was listening to this podcast the other day that Kim was on, and I won't give it any oxygen, but she said the interviewer asked her how much she spends a year on beauty.
Mhm.
Over $1 million.
Oh my God.
Over $1 million on just
and all that
makeup.
time getting it
Ugh.
fixed.
Yeah.
To do some-
And the sad thing is that she's gone to law school. She's done all this stuff for, prisoners and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, those are the things that are going to sustain her. And those are the things that, like, when I heard that, and I knew a little bit about it, and I was like, oh my God, girl, focus on that. Cause
Yeah.
that's what people need to hear.
Right. And really,
You
like,
know?
what do you want to be known for? Like, that you were just an attractive person, but there was no
Yeah.
substance. I'd rather be like someone talk about me like, oh, she did this, she did this, she did
Yeah.
that. She was, kind and generous and had a
Yeah.
podcast and this. Like, you want people to talk about what you did and how you made them feel. I mean, we're all going to get wrinkly and old in the end. And
look at Jane Goodall.
yeah,
she's like such a great example of that. I mean, she was a beauty when she was younger, but even more beautiful in the end when she could just, like, I don't know if you've guys have you seen the documentary that
I
she
haven't. I haven't
did?
watched it yet.
And she said, well, you can't air it till after I die.
Mm.
And so they aired it, and it was so funny. She's drinking whiskey throughout, and and she's naming names about who she thinks is horrible and done horrible things to the planet and things like that. And I thought, right on, sister. Like that, what a legacy. Like nobody's going like, she didn't have a butt lift. Should have had some Botox.
Yeah.
Temps would have paid attention more.
Yeah. I mean, I think, redefining, what beauty means, that like, the saying beauty is more than skin deep, like, because, I always think about dating when I was younger, and like, just because someone was hot doesn't mean they were a nice person. And you could go out with this really hot guy and he's a jerk, and you're just sitting across from him watching him become an ugly person because he's not kind. And then someone who maybe they wouldn't consider hot becomes beautiful or handsome because they're such a good person that you just are like, they light, they light up the room. And so, I think it needs, especially around women, because we really do have a lot of focus put on our looks more than our accomplishments and who we are.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how to change it other than just, women supporting other women, and getting men on board to also support women and say like, that's a really beautiful woman. Like that woman's attractive to me because of her, not because of what she looks like, but the smile or the substance or the, what was underneath was so sexy to me, that she was so smart or funny or whatever, but I think we need men to get on board with that more.
Yes, I agree. They need to be a little more supportive and stuff. Like,
right. Because I think they could probably be the biggest redefiners of beauty, honestly.
Well, and there's a loneliness epidemic among, men. And I'm like, they're kind of doing it to themselves because they think we should be their mommies or their therapists. And they're just looking for someone that looks good on the outside. But, there has to be more to anybody than just that.
I can't imagine dating at my age. I can't imagine. I mean, oh my God. Well, first of all, who would I want to get naked with? Who? No, I'd scare the hell out of him. Hell, I scare myself already. No. Things are not in the right place.
I know.
Yeah. Well, I stopped dating. I think I went on a few dates last year, but I just stopped. I was like, I don't want to do this anymore. Not that I don't want to meet someone, but like, I don't want to be on the apps. I'm tired of this. It's not making me feel good about myself. And these guys are making no effort. And I'm like, I've never been happier. And I wish when I was younger, that I had thought like, hey, just be happy in yourself and enjoy your life.
That's probably when you're going to meet somebody.
Right.
You let that go and it organically comes to you. I honestly believe that, because if you can honestly let go of all of that baggage surrounding it, your best self is coming out because you're living your life for you.
Yeah.
And you are a professional. You've done many wonderful things.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, I read your background and I thought, wow, okay. So, that's enough.
That's right. Word woman.
Yeah, word woman.
Yes. Yeah, my dad used to call me all the time, and I'd be like,
so cute.
What now? He wrote he was an orthodontist. He wrote a textbook, and I was the editor, and I would just be like, dude, you can't afford the therapy I need from you being my client, and like, but I love doing it. But yeah, it was, but yeah. So thinking about like, let's say like changing the way beauty is talked about. I mean, I work in advertising, and I've been thinking a lot for a few years about how to change that way of thinking with like aging. Like, we don't want to use those words. Like, there was a brand, like, we don't want to use normal or sensitive. And I'm like, yeah, but saying your skin is normal or sensitive doesn't, like, I don't think that's negative, but I don't know how you change, aging, because yes, it's a privilege. Yes, we don't want to shame people, but even as, women or men, like when sometimes you look at your skin, you're like, I don't like this. Not because somebody's telling me not to like it. I just don't. So I
Mhm.
do want a product that might help me feel a little better. So
Yeah.
I wonder, like, is it the way we talk about aging should change, not the word aging?
Well, I
Well,
do,
yeah.
going back to my little friend about want is like women against negative talk. We do reinforce that in ourselves and each other. We don't realize how much our own vocabulary we put ourselves down or, talk negatively about ourselves and the way we look and the way we feel about our bodies and things like that. And I mean, I think part of it's human nature because, I've struggled with weight issues and that I've always felt like I needed to be more self-deprecating. And honestly, it comes from a place of wanting to say to people, I get it. So before you can criticize me, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to out myself. Right. And so I shouldn't have to do that, to be honest.
Mhm.
Um, but that's how I dealt with it. And so we would put ourselves down or, like say things negatively in our own vocabulary all the time.
Yeah.
I
We
think
got
I
to
do
stop.
that now about being
We
old.
do. We
I just
do.
make fun of it, and therefore I'm outing. I get it. I'm old. I
Mhm.
mean, I'm 2 years away from being 80. And I've always said, when I turn 80, I'm going on heroin, but I don't have a dealer yet or anything. But
I told Marilyn, I said she should date her dealer and then she could get it for free.
yeah, oh no, see again the dating, the naked
No,
dating. No.
it would take a lot of heroin for you to feel good about yourself.
Yes, dating can, I feel like at any age, dating can just make you feel not great,
Yeah.
frustrated,
Yeah.
mad, like all the
Yes.
emotions
Yeah,
in dating.
absolutely. But I don't know, I think too, like, in the advertising world, I mean, there have been some people who've made an effort like Dove, where they did that whole campaign with like plus size women and things
Mhm.
like that. And I think we just need to keep seeing more of it. And there's just because, you're overweight or you're not like this ideal picture of beauty is that we just need to see it more and become more and more educated as to what beauty really is.
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think, some advertisers are kind of getting it that it's like, well, half the world doesn't meet that standard.
Mhm.
So we're going to purchase where we see ourselves. And
Yeah,
I
and
love it
the
when
idea that
Target started doing like plus size mannequins.
yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And I was like, well, right on. Like now I can actually see what it actually looks like instead of having to look at it as in a size 2 and try and visualize it on myself and then have to dig all the way to the bottom of the pile because the big uns get it, those XLs really fast. And so, but they always put us at the bottom,
Yeah.
and there's all these kind of subtle messages. It's like, well, why does small have to be at the top
Right.
of the
Well,
pile?
I was just thinking too, why is beauty a number one thing? There's so many other things in life. There's art,
Yes.
there's
Yeah.
kindness, there's
Yeah.
close relationships, dear
Mhm.
friends, in my case, grandkids,
Mhm.
and
Cooking.
and our cooking, yes.
Because there's a lot of products they can sell to, especially they make us feel insecure. And yes, I work in advertising. I'm outing and shaming us because, but I mean, I
Yeah.
worked on a amlactin lotion, which is, it's really good. Like if you have, keratosis pilaris, it's very good. It has lactic acid. But the whole thing we were talking about was, because it's not a fancy product, was like, we're tired of seeing like 20 somethings telling us about aging or having a skin problem that they would never have. And it's like, if you want women to not feel bad about themselves, and if you're talking about fine lines or wrinkles, then show someone with fine lines or wrinkles. Or if you're
Right.
talking about a skin condition or whatever it is,
Yeah.
or the rules about, well, if you're over 40, you shouldn't do your makeup this way. And I'm like, I'm going to wear whatever makeup
God,
I
look at
want.
all this.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a challenge. I mean, I think it'll be with us till the end of time, but um, you also have control over that in terms of who's in your circle.
Yep.
Like
That's
will you surround yourself with those people who make you feel bad about yourself, or will you surround yourself with people who are like dynamic and achieving and doing things that inspire you or get you to do different things? It's like you have control over that.
Mhm.
And after 40, you can start making a conscious decision to go like, I'm not going to be in the mean girl circle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be in the interesting girl circle.
Yeah.
And then you won't feel nearly as bad about yourself.
Yeah. And also embrace who you are. Like if you want to wear, today I'm not wearing a bold lip, but I will wear a red lip. I will wear, sparkly eyeshadow. I don't care because it makes me happy.
Right.
And, or whatever, shoes, skirt, whatever you want to wear, like just embrace it because there's nothing more beautiful than confidence.
Yeah. But
That's
there
it.
is another line that like, you don't want to break your contract with America either. Like, there's go to Disneyland. You'll know what I mean.
Mm.
It's just like, not everybody should wear yoga pants on the Matterhorn.
Yes. Yeah. And especially like the nude ones where you're like, are you wearing, is that leggings or is that, are
No,
you naked? Yeah.
definitely breaking your contract. No.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, you
'Cause I
still
always
want
say
to,
like, if it's hurting you, chances are it's hurting somebody else.
oh yeah. I mean, I'm at the point too where I'm like, is this comfortable? Because if this is not comfortable, I don't,
Yeah,
I don't,
me either.
yeah. I just went to a gala in New York and I rented a dress. I'm like, I'm not buying for one time. And my goal was one, to find something that would fit my chest because that seems, designers are like, oh, you have boobs. I'm sorry. We don't.
I'm sorry, we don't fit people like you.
Yeah.
So I found this dress and I was like, oh, it was like off it was very comfortable and stretchy. And I'm like, this is what I want to wear. My shoes weren't comfortable, but the dress was. Cause yeah, I feel like you like get to like fashion when you're young, you're like, I'll suffer. And then as you get older, you're like, this is no.
Yeah, give me more fabric.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Load
have
me
more
up with
Spanx.
the fabric.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you hear celebrities go, I have 2 pairs of Spanx on. I'm like, how
Why?
do you do that? I'm like, I
Oh,
can't do
wow.
one.
I know. I know.
How do you breathe or move or yeah.
Or pee.
Yeah,
God. Because
Yeah.
the signal now is like a very short one for me. Like the minute it hits me, it's like I would never make it if I had to get rid of 2 pairs of Spanx.
Yes, right.
Never.
No, I mean, I brought because I was coming in from New Jersey to New York, so I had flats on, and I ended up changing. And I'm like, I don't care. My feet are killing me, and I can
Yeah.
barely walk. Like,
I know.
no one's looking, no one noticed, So
No.
yeah, but in my like 20s and 30s, I would have just bared the pain
Yeah.
and
We
Yeah.
did. But
Yeah, we did. That
So-
ship has sailed
Yeah.
exactly.
a long
So do you
time.
have, when it comes to like, say like beauty products or like skincare, is there something that you love? Like I said, I'm like a lipstick hoarder. And I do love my skincare routine. It feels like self-care, not just something I'm doing so that my skin doesn't itch because it's dry.
I actually do have something that I love, and I don't know that it looks that great, but it feels really good. It's called Professional.
Oh,
And
benefit.
Benefit makes it, and you put it on, it's just like velvet. It like makes your skin feel like velvet. And
I
so
need
there's
to get
very few things like I'm not really big into make and like I'm not a big makeup person, but boy, I put that on. I was like, ooh, that's pretty good. That's a good one.
Yeah. I think
But
that's like
aren't
one
we
of their,
also duped? Like Instagram has got our number. Like you click on one thing,
Oh,
and then now it's just like coming at you. Like people put
yes.
stuff on, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, I need that. Oh, I got to get that.
oh yeah.
Get the wrinkle filler, get the CNC color corrector, get the yeah. It's
Yeah.
hard not to be duped. I've done it. I'm a
It-
sucker.
Yeah.
Well, I want that for me.
Professional.
you.
I'll get it for you.
It's a good
Oh.
product. I think it's one of their best selling.
Is it? Oh
Yeah.
God, I love it. I love
I
it.
remember when they came out with it, it was, I think it's been at least maybe the early 2000s. And it was like, I think one of the first, because it makes you look like you don't have any
I just
pores.
discovered it like 5 years ago, and I thought, oh, I really like this. Yeah, it smooths everything out, and it's not heavy. And God, I could do a commercial. Have them call me.
Yeah, I want to see more. Like, I think Laura Geller is definitely, and like Bobbi Brown, they
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
Although I mean, most of the time I don't have makeup on, but it's always interesting to me to hear Bobby Brown talk about like, oh, don't wear makeup. And I'm like, but you're a makeup artist.
Makeup person? You sell makeup? Yeah.
It's very, I'm like, what? But
well, the algorithm has me because I think everything starts with, are you still wearing makeup like you did in your 20s? Like, you're a mature woman. Like, you better rethink your foundation. I'm like, oh God, I got to rethink it.
Well, and now like 90s stuff is coming back, like the dark lip and the eyeliner. And I'm like, yeah, because
no, it wasn't good then.
I think I don't mind the dark lip, but I remember, the heavy, like smoky eye that.
Yeah. I hope the perms don't come back.
Oh God, no. I can smell that.
Oh, the formaldehyde.
Oh, it's
so
awful.
bad. So bad.
I mean, who didn't have a perm in the 80s?
I don't know.
Bad.
Everybody did.
I had so much hair when I was younger, and I used to work at the media place in college, and they used to call me the lioness because I just kept getting that perm, and it was just like this huge, like all this hair, and it's like, why?
Oh, my mistake was I have very thin hair, and I didn't want it on my bangs, so I had straight bangs and curly,
Oh, no.
wispy because it was thin.
Oh no!
Thin.
And then it would start to grow out.
Yeah.
So then you had this like straight, and then
yeah. Rosanna Dana.
Oh my gosh,
that was exactly it. Yeah.
Yeah, my hair in the 80s, and like not first I had of course, like every young girl, I had the Dorothy Hamill haircut because all the dads thought she was so adorable, so their daughters I looked like a boy. I think at one time I had sort of a mullet, some weird feathered
You're
thing.
that much younger. I had big hair. I had
Marilyn had the big flip.
Yeah, I rat it all up, smooth it slightly over, spray it with Aquanet.
Oh yes,
make sure the flip was up, and then I could hardly get in the car. It was so bad.
Yes, yeah. I'm surprised I have any hair on my head. Like the amount of product I used in the 80s and 90s, like my hair, it was very big. You just take a brush, spray, get the wings going. The back was flat.
Oh, that
remember that? Okay, look, I just happen to have a brush here, but do you remember we used to call it the backstop?
Oh yes, the girls would have.
You would do it like this, so it like went way up like that, and then when Marilyn used to say, it used to just shake in the wind.
Yeah, because it was all.
Marilyn called it the backstop. You called it the backstop.
Yeah, like it was yes.
Do you guys ever sleep in like hot rollers or the rollers, or like use the hot rollers or sleep in the rollers when you?
I slept in rollers.
Oh, they were so comfortable
in high school.
We still use the Velcro, the big Velcro ones.
Yeah,
they're the most effective.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember having.
I hear more about sleeping than I do about my hairstyle.
No. Yeah. I mean, I used all those products, and my mom would tell me when she was growing up, they would use cans or whatever. I think like lemonade.
Yes, I did that. Yeah. Yes, we did.
Yeah, before the Velcro came out.
Yeah, great big ones.
How did you?
I used to watch I had an older sister, and she'd put makeup on, and I was like so in awe. And she had those big orange juice cans, and then she'd look in the mirror, and she'd always do this. It's like I don't know if that made it better.
Or everyone has the mascara
we do for beauty. It must be just ingrained in us somehow, somewhere. But I said I was talking to a friend of mine who's trans, and I just said, you're kind of at a deficit because you became a woman, but you didn't have the benefit of growing up and learning how to use a round brush. Like we take for granted, like all the stuff that we learned growing up just by osmosis, like watching people trying it. And I said, you don't know how to use the round brush. So your hair isn't good. It's going to take time.
Yeah. The thing I got, because I'm not good with the round brush, but they have, now I have this, it's kind of like a hair dryer, but it's just the brush and it's amazing. I'm like, oh,
Carol got me one.
yeah, they're the
Carol
best.
got me
Revlon,
one.
Revlon, and you just like
Yeah.
7 minutes and you got a do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's,
I'm like,
yeah, that was
where are
brilliant.
these?
I
I
don't
know.
know.
Yeah, no, I like it. Gives you
Yeah.
volume. Love it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sir, no whining. Sorry.
It's okay.
It's getting close to his bathroom time, and he thinks that he's in charge of
Oh,
the house, and
They
he's
are.
not.
yeah, they are. And it's
I mean-
getting close to my bathroom time actually as well.
It's so funny how, like, dogs will just know, like, they know certain times. I'm like, you
Yeah.
don't have a clock. Like, they must have an internal
Absolutely.
clock.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway, hopefully he won't whine again. So let's move away from the beauty conversation. Talk about, you guys are coming back and doing a show called, what is it? I wrote it down because the brain doesn't
That's
work
all
all the
right.
time. The Last Trimester, Mommies, The Last Trimester.
Mhm. Yeah.
So what inspired you to decide to come back out of, not really retirement, but to come back out and share
Well, it
again?
was retirement.
Yeah.
It was.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, Carol asked me if she said, we've been telling this story, each of us in our own groups, telling the story of how we accidentally got to Hollywood and then got an F in People magazine and went down the ladder easily it's so easy to go down the Hollywood ladder. You should know that. Anyway, so so we just decided we'll tell our story.
Well,
And
I actually moved back to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
So I was living in LA and Marilyn was up here. And so we were kind of logistically close again. And I said,
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but like, you're at like a party or a dinner and people are like, well, what was that like? And then, so we have all these little stories of things that really impacted us, meeting celebrities, never feeling like celebrities ourselves. And so I said, why don't we just, let's just start by telling our story. And then it sort of morphed into where we are now in our life. And so really, like, the first act of our show is really about going down the Hollywood ladder. And then the second act is really about where we are now. And it's a lot of aging. And,
Mhm.
people want to hear about, like, well, where did you land? What did you do and how did you handle it? But it was an amazing adventure and it's an amazing story. Like, to have your neighbor and, best friend in your
Realize
cul-
she just
get
lived
a
across.
sitcom?
Yeah. She just lived across the street from me. And, within 2 short years, we went from doing a little show at a little tiny women's club in Petaluma, California, then to starring in an NBC sitcom. How? Me and my best
It
friend.
was a crazy, wild ride,
Yeah.
and so, once we were all kind of done with it and we had, exhausted everything in Hollywood and we kind of went our separate ways. And I mean, always keeping in touch and always friends, but
Yeah.
I became a college counselor. Marilyn's an author and she did a one woman show for a while. And, and so and she's an artist. And so we, when we came back together, it was like, oh my God, it's been 30 years since we performed together.
Mhm.
And now it's a different kind of fun because there's
Oh,
just
God, yes.
zero pressure,
Yeah.
know.
The
So
only pressure we have is getting old people to go out of their houses and come see us.
I know we're doing matinees. We're doing a lot of matinees because our audience doesn't like to drive in the dark.
Yes.
That's where we are.
I get that. Yeah, I don't like to drive in the dark either anymore. Well, also because I got progressives and they're like, oh, you'll love them. And my brain doesn't like them. So I can't, it makes it harder to see.
Oh, I
So,
bet. Yeah.
Yeah.
this is-
Yeah.
yeah.
So we're doing our show. We have one in Santa Monica on November 8th at the Crow Comedy Club. And we call it the Last Trimester because it literally is our last trimester. And people can come and watch us age in public.
Mhm.
And are you going to take the show on the road or are you just going to stay in LA?
Well, this is kind of on the road.
California.
Oh, that's true. Well, yeah, it's because you're right. You're in San Francisco. So,
Yeah.
But I mean, are you going to take it out of California or?
We'll
Well,
see.
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. We don't like,
an HBO special, like, a lot of the comedians do. I mean, why not?
Yeah.
you never
Well,
know.
You never know.
You
Yeah.
never know.
Which I
So,
love that you can, I mean, I always like that growing up too, to like be able to see things that I lived in a small town in Florida, but and watching things as kids that we probably shouldn't have been watching, like Eddie Murphy, but it's always cool to just get to expose to so many different stories
Sure.
and
Yeah, we
so
should do that. Yeah, when my grandson was 6, I let him use my computer to watch whatever he wanted. He was on YouTube, and then he came home one night and said to his mom, "What are illegal drugs?" I didn't know. I had let him watch Grand Theft Auto,
oh no.
and I didn't even know anything about it. I
You
didn't
didn't know how bad it was.
I know. So now we have this new rule, and that is we do 4 things before he watches TV. So we have to read. He reads to me, and I read to him. We have to do art. We have to play a game, and I have to teach him about a rock star. I started with Freddie Mercury.
I
Nice.
said, oh, now you're just back to illegal drugs. That's what you're doing.
I know.
Speaking of music, yeah, my nephew, when he was little, there was like an app where you could like lip sync or sing with song, and he would send them to my mom. And I was with her and he sent one and I'm like, did he just say the P word? I'm like,
Oh no.
did he just? And then she's like, what? I didn't. And I listened to it again. And so I text my sister. I'm like, I think the parental control is off of this app because Burke just said, like, he just said me, mom, saying the PUSS. I'm like, I know he didn't know what that was. So yeah, I would play him. He's like, now he's 14, but he'd be like, does this have explicit lyrics? Because I'm only allowed to listen to the P. I'm like, so,
Great.
yeah. It's true. Yeah, there's so many things online that kids can get exposed to. They're like,
we're making mistakes all over the place, but
yeah. So how long is your show running for? Until you guys are done with it, or do you have like a set?
we just have a one night stand in Santa Monica.
Yeah.
And then we're going to be doing some up here again in the Bay Area. We're going to probably be doing like a benefit for Habitat for Humanity, and then doing some other shows in maybe a single venue where people just come to find us and know we're there.
Yeah. In the daytime.
In the daytime.
Yeah. The day.
Have a boozy brunch and then come see us. You'll be all ready to go.
That is the best. Yeah. I love brunch. Yeah. The best way you have a show and some drinks and yeah, I went to see when I was in New York. I just went to see Bridget Everett do her cabaret show. It was. I didn't have to drive, so that was good. But it was the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. I loved every minute of it. If you ever, she's hilarious.
Oh, that's great.
She was changing costumes like on stage. You didn't know what was going to come out of her mouth or out of her top, or like it was just.
Oh my God.
It was really, I went by myself and I had the best time, and it's just it's fun to see shows, people tell interesting stories and so did you ever, after you left the show and left Hollywood, did you ever miss it, or were you glad you're like, that's our time, we did it, next?
Yeah, I didn't miss it, although there became a time when I did it by myself. And that was because it was called Will I Ever Wear a Bikini Again? And it was only about aging. So by then I was like 65 or so. And it just, and so that part was fun, but it wasn't nearly as fun as doing it with Caryl, because, we began with as a friend. We were in a little cul-de-sac, and she lived across from me, and we became close friends. And so and also her humor is so good that, and it just inspires my humor, and we just run off each other.
Yeah, we just play off of each other. It's a very easy relationship, and we get each other. And and I think, from the reviews we get and people talk about, is that as much as they love the humor and the comedy, they love the relationship. Yeah. They like to watch, two women being supportive of each other. And I think other people see their friendships in our friendship.
Yes. Yeah. We laugh a lot, even when we're not doing anything.
And especially, when we're screwing up, and those are the best moments on stage, actually, is like, when,
Well, yeah, I go blank sometimes. I just go blank.
Marilyn goes, I need Prevagen. And I said, oh, you need more than that. You need you need a walk-in bathtub, a reverse mortgage, a life alert bracelet, and you should get a hearing aid too.
Yeah. Oh, hearing aid. Are you kidding me? I was watching. It's not a commercial. It's it was like what is it, Carol? Give it to me.
What?
What was I watching? Well, okay, I was watching a show, a
Oh,
commercial.
it was a PSA about drugs.
Yes,
Back to the drugs thing. Back to the drugs.
The word PSA. I was watching PSA about it's anti-drug, specifically meth, but I heard it as math. And so I'm cooking and I'm watching TV, and this woman comes on and says, "My life was just fine until I did math." And another woman said, "You know what? Math ruined my life." And I thought, well, I hate math too, but it ruins your life. So it's all going. The hearing's going, memory.
Oh yeah, I watch things with.
Try being 78 and memorizing 90 minutes of live material. That's hard.
I can imagine.
So I couldn't do it without her.
Do you guys write together? Like, what is your process? Okay.
Yeah.
We'll go, like I'll say, oh my God, we just started talking today about, I said, oh, Marilyn, there's like this new thing. I got to do it in the show, is that I realized that like, I'm a true crime junkie. And I heard that it's a red flag if you like to go to bed watching true crime. And I said, oh no, I love serial killers. Like, I find it relaxing to watch somebody be chopped into pieces and put in an oil drum. And I said, my husband's like, I think you're going to shank me in the middle of the night. Like, you're just, and I said, no, I don't know what it is, but I love it. But the more women I talk to, and then I was doing a little research, and it turns out that women are really into serial killers.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it is, but oh my God, give me Scott Peterson, the Murdaugh trial, like all of it. And I was watching The Monster, which is on Netflix with Charlie Hunnam, who's so cute, but it is so disturbing. And I said, okay, I think I even found my line that I'm not going to cross, because that show is so disturbing. Like, he's skinning people alive and then reupholstering his chairs, and he leave like a nipple on the chair. I'm like, okay,
it's
that's a messed up mind. Like, I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
But I did love Sons of Anarchy. I've watched all the Forensic Files. And so, those things will come up and I'll go like, I think I need to put that in the show.
Yeah, I'll tell you what scares me. I scare myself. When it's in the evening and I've had my gummy, my marijuana gummy, and a drink. I put on America's Next Top Model.
Oh God.
It just entertains me so much. Tyra and the hair and yes, you can be a top model. And
and then she starts yelling.
And then we talked about today.
Yes.
Hilarious.
So when you were doing the show back in for NBC, right? NBC, yes.
In the 90s, yeah.
The 90s, yes.
We had a sitcom on NBC, and then we did a talk show on ABC.
On ABC, okay. Were you writing the material for the show, or did you have like a bunch of writers, or?
No. We had writers who were very disappointed in. They did the pilot using our live show, and it was really successful. And then they continued to write generic sitcom slop. And it was so frustrating. And they wouldn't let us in the writing room. And it was like, what is wrong with this picture? Like, we weren't actors. What we brought to the table was the writing. And then they didn't let us consult on storyline. And then it just got stupid. And of course, we knew we were going to be canceled because it was dumb.
Yeah.
And it was just like, it was not clever. And I remember watching Malcolm in the Middle when it came out, and I went, that's the show we wanted to do. It was something like that, and it was so clever and funny, and ours was just dumb.
Oh, and what I didn't realize was that we shot our show at the Paramount lot. And what I didn't know was that when they were doing blocking and taping, they broadcast it all over Paramount, and I didn't know that. And I'd have my little script, and then I'd stop and look at the camera and say, "Why is this funny? who is even going to laugh?
Carol's berating the
Oh,
writer.
I would just, and I didn't know everybody was hearing me.
Oh,
I,
no.
I was like, why is this funny? Why is that funny? And then they would just sweeten it later, with
It was just done. It was an exercise in frustration.
Do you
yeah.
think
And,
because
you
you were
see it over and over. It's happening even now.
yeah.
You
Do
know,
you
like
think
you
that
watch-
if you did that show, say now, and did it maybe on like a streaming service, that you'd have more control? Do you think it was like of that time, or just the way sometimes women are treated in Hollywood?
both.
Both.
I think it was the nature of the beast. The producers that we hired were very not out of the box. They had a formula, and they were trying to
Yes.
plug us into a formula that didn't work for us
Yeah.
and our sensibilities. And then the other thing too is that, you couldn't possibly know, you little bumpkins from Petaluma, and they patted us on the head and scooted us out the door.
Mhm.
Meanwhile, it was
And
their idea.
yeah. And it was very frustrating. And then we got a second season. It was kind of a limited second season, but by then the ship had sailed. I mean, they put us on Saturday nights too, for God's sakes,
Mhm.
against Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. And it's like, if you were a mom, what night are you going out? Well, Saturday at 8:00. So
That's right.
our
That's
audience watched once, and then they never came
Never
back.
came back. I'll tell you who did watch. Prisoners.
That's
Prisoners.
right.
Yeah, I think it
You're
was
right.
their punishment. I think it was
But
their punishment. It was like, you tried to make a weapon out of your toothbrush. Well, now you're going to have to watch the Mommies. No.
We got a lot of mail from them. We would send back laminated photos.
Stop.
Oh.
I can't believe you said that.
I wonder if they still have them.
We were
No.
younger and cuter then.
Yeah, that's true.
If we sent them back now, they'd shank themselves.
Oh, it's too funny.
Anyway,
Well, I think there's like a great, perfect way to end the show.
good way to
I
end,
did
right?
too. I
Talking
did
about
too.
prisoners shaking themselves.
Yeah.
Thank you both, Marilyn and Caryl, for being on the podcast. It's really been thrilling to talk
Blythe,
to
it
you.
was great to see you and talk
Thank
with
you.
you.
And I'll have
Yeah.
all their information in the show notes. And are there still tickets available to?
Yes.
Okay, so that'll be in
You
there
just
as
go
well.
to Eventbrite, and you can put in the Crow or the Mommies, and it'll come up.
Yeah.
Perfect. Well, I will
Eventbrite.
include all that information. So thank you again. It was so fun
Well,
chatting
thank
with you.
you.
And
Great
I'm sure
job.
I'll be
Thank
thinking
you.
about prisoners shaking themselves. To picture.
Oh,
Never forget, you're a beautiful, smart woman.
yes.
Yes, thank you. And
Yeah.
all women need to think about that. Like our
Yes.
looks.
Or
So-
turning it around, you're
Yeah.
a smart,
Right. I
beautiful
mean,
woman.
there's more to us than, our hair and our eyes and our, like we
Yeah.
have brains, we have abilities, and that's what
Oh.
we need to remember. So thank you guys.
Thank you,
Okay.
Blythe. This was really fun.
Yeah.
Thank you so much to Marilyn and Caryl for that really fun chat. I think we ended it on the perfect note. It was so nice chatting with the Mommies and hearing their thoughts and takes on beauty now versus beauty back in the day, and also to hear what they're up to. I wish I lived in California and Santa Monica so that I could go see their show. They have one coming up on November 8th at the Crow. The Mommies their last trimester, and I sincerely hope they get to do the show again. I would love it if Netflix or HBO or some streaming service would pick it up and record it so we could all see it, or they would get to do a tour. I would definitely go check it out because I do remember watching them back in the day. I can't believe it's been 30 years since their sitcom and talk show, but I really enjoyed talking to them, and I hope you enjoyed that interview despite my weird voice. Just a reminder, we will have one more episode coming up about beauty over 40s. Also, don't forget that our book club is in full effect. We are reading A Wrinkle in Time, so don't forget to pick up your book at the library. You can listen to it, you can order it, however you want to read it. And if you would like to be part of the conversation, stay tuned for more details coming. I'll probably talk about next episode, but also on our Instagram and TikTok, the GenX Experience Pod. I'd love to have like a little book chat. We'll be doing it in December to kind of end the year, and then talking about what we'll do for our next book. So without further ado, my fellow Gen Xers, don't you forget about me, because I won't forget about you.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to the GenX Experience. If today's episode resonated with you, please consider sharing it on social media or with a friend. We'll see you back here next time.